"Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." The universe has been whispering this truth to you for years, but today, right now, it's time you finally heard it with your heart, not just your ears. You were never, ever meant to carry it all alone. My dear friends, what I'm about to share with you is a revelation so profound yet so simple that it has the power to completely transform your relationship with yourself, with others, and with God. It's a message especially for those souls who have always been the strong ones, who've carried everyone's burdens, who've put themselves last because they believe that's what love means. The universe has been waiting for this moment to liberate you. There are 10 spiritual truths you've been missing about your role as the family rock, the eternal caretaker, the one who never breaks. These truths will finally give you permission to breathe again, to release what was never yours to carry. Let me walk with you through each one. 1. Being strong. All the time is not your mission. My friends, the universe didn't design you to be an unbreakable wall that never cracks, never falters, never rests. Being the pillar that everyone leans on isn't the identity God created for you. It's the identity the world coerced you into accepting. Think about it deeply. When did you first believe the lie that your value comes from being unshakable? Was it when your family first turned to you in crisis? Was it when you realized no one else would step up if you didn't? Was it when someone told you to be strong during your own moment of grief? The universe operates in balance, in cycles of giving and receiving. Even the strongest oak tree must bend in the storm, or it will break completely. Your true spiritual mission isn't perpetual strength, it's authentic humanity. Pope Francis teaches us something profound when he says that spiritual strength also reveals itself when you allow yourself to cry, when you ask for help, when you finally let yourself fall apart. Being vulnerable isn't weakness, it's honesty. Being real isn't failure, it's courage. You don't have to be everything for everyone. Your only obligation is to be a child of God, imperfect and beloved. The shame you feel when you can't hold everything together, release it. The guilt you carry when you need to rest, let it dissolve. The universe is whispering to your weary heart. You were created for connection, not isolation, for interdependence, not superhuman independence. 2. Even Jesus had help carrying the cross. My dear friends, this truth is so simple yet so profound. If the Son of God himself needed Simon of Cyrene to help carry his cross on the way to Calvary, what makes you believe you must shoulder every burden alone? Christ, in his perfect humility, accepted help in his darkest hour. The universe designed this powerful moment not just as historical fact, but as spiritual instruction for souls like yours who feel they must suffer in silent strength. Think about this truth deeply. The very cornerstone of our faith accepted assistance in his moment of greatest suffering. Yet how often do you refuse hands extended to lighten your load? How frequently do you say, "I'm fine," when your spirit is crying out for support? Pope Francis reminds us that accepting support is humility, not weakness. To receive help is to participate in the divine dance of human community that God intended from the beginning of creation. Bear one another's burdens and so fulfill the law of Christ. Galatians 6:2. When you refuse help, believing self-sufficiency is virtue. You're not just harming yourself. You're denying others the blessing of giving, the sacred opportunity to be Christ to you, just as Simon was Christ to Jesus. The universe has been sending you people, Simon of Cyrene, for your own journey, but you've been turning them away, convinced that strength means isolation. Today, I invite you to reconsider what true strength looks like through God's eyes, not the world's. 3. Silence doesn't mean you're okay. My friends, the universe knows a truth about you that perhaps even your closest loved ones don't see. Many who seem perfectly fine are silently imploding inside. Your composed exterior, your reassuring smile, your constant "I'm okay" has become the perfect disguise for a heart that's breaking under the weight of expectations. How many times have you swallowed your tears? How many nights have you lain, awake, heart racing with anxiety, yet showed up the next morning as if nothing was wrong? The universe sees this hidden suffering and today calls you to a different kind of courage. The courage to be honest about your pain. Many people around you who seem unbothered, unaffected by life's challenges, are actually masters of disguise, just like you. They've perfected the art of suffering in silence, believing vulnerability is weakness and asking for help is failure. Pope Francis values those who suffer silently. Your strength is remarkable, but he also extends an invitation. Speak, trust, rest. You have the divine right to be heard, to have your pain acknowledged, to receive care rather than always giving it. The universe knows the exhaustion of maintaining the facade. Living a double life, broken inside, unbreakable outside, consumes precious spiritual energy you were meant to use for joy, for creativity, for connection with God and others. Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. 1 Peter 5:7. Your silence isn't protecting anyone, not yourself, not those you love. It's merely preserving an illusion that humans can be self-sufficient without cost to their souls. Today, the universe invites you to shatter that illusion with the simple, powerful truth of your reality. 4. You weren't meant to balance everyone's life while ignoring yours. My dear friends, take a moment to count with me. How many roles do you fill in others' lives? You've been the listening ear, the bridge builder, the cook, the counselor, the caretaker, the mediator, the spiritual guide, the financial support. But who plays these roles for you? The universe created you as both giver and receiver, yet, somewhere along your journey, you became convinced that your purpose was only to give, to serve, to support. Your identity became so wrapped up in being needed that you forgot your own needs matter too. Pope Francis speaks this truth with compassion. Caring for others is beautiful and sacred work, but forgetting yourself in the process is not what God intended. It creates an imbalance in the spiritual ecosystem of your life that eventually leads to resentment, exhaustion, and a profound disconnection from your authentic self. Think of the oxygen mask instructions on an airplane. You must secure your own before helping others. This isn't selfishness, it's spiritual wisdom. If you deplete yourself completely, you will eventually have nothing left to give. The universe is calling you to a radical recalibration of your understanding of love. True love includes yourself in the circle of care. True service flows from a well that is regularly replenished. True giving comes from abundance, not from the scraps you have left after everyone else's needs are met. Brothers and sisters, may the peace of God be with you. If you're enjoying this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. Your opinion is sacred to me, as it helps me continue this mission of spreading light, faith, and hope. 5. Rest is holy too. My friends, in a world that glorifies constant productivity, that praises those who never stop, that measures worth by output, I need you to hear this truth from the universe. Rest is not lazy. Rest is not selfish. Rest is holy. Even God, the ultimate creator, rested on the seventh day and made that rest sacred. This wasn't because the creator of galaxies and oceans was tired. It was to establish a divine pattern for all of creation, including you. The universe operates in rhythms, day and night, seasons of growth and dormancy, tides that advance and retreat. Your body, mind, and spirit were designed to follow similar patterns of exertion and recovery. When you ignore these natural cycles, pushing yourself relentlessly forward, you're not being heroic. You're fighting against the very design of your existence. Pope Francis teaches that resting in the Lord is also an act of faith. When you rest, you demonstrate trust that the world will continue turning without your constant effort. You acknowledge that you are creature, not creator. You surrender control in the most beautiful, necessary way. Think about how you react when someone you love is exhausted. Do you condemn them for needing sleep? Do you shame them for taking a moment to breathe? Of course not. You encourage them to rest because you love them. The universe feels the same tender concern for you. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He refreshes my soul. Psalm 23, 2-3. The soul-deep exhaustion you feel isn't just physical. It's the accumulated weight of believing that your worth depends on what you can do for others, rather than who you are as a beloved child of God. Today, I invite you to reclaim rest as a spiritual practice, to see moments of stillness not as luxury, but as necessity, to recognize that sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is to close your eyes, breathe deeply, and allow yourself to simply be. 6. Asking for help doesn't make you a burden. It makes you human. My dear friends, from the earliest moments of your life, perhaps you were taught, directly or by example, that independence was virtue and dependence was weakness. Don't bother others with your problems. Figure it out yourself. Be self-reliant. These messages sank deep into your spirit, convincing you that needing help was something to avoid at all costs. But the universe is urgently trying to correct this misunderstanding. You were never designed to function in isolation. The entire created order, from ecosystems to human societies, demonstrates that interdependence, not independence, is God's plan. Pope Francis reminds us with gentle wisdom. We were created for community, not for isolation. The idea that strength means never needing anyone else is a modern myth, not a spiritual truth. It runs counter to everything the universe reveals about how life is meant to function. Think about this. Why would God design humans to be born so helpless, requiring years of care before independence, if self-sufficiency was the ultimate goal? Why would Jesus establish the church as a body with many parts, each relying on the others, if isolation was the ideal? God didn't make you strong so you could live alone. Your strength was given to participate in the beautiful exchange of giving and receiving that characterizes all healthy relationships, including your relationship with the divine. Let me tell you about Maria, a grandmother I knew when I was young. For 60 years, she was the matriarch who held her family together through war, poverty, and countless personal tragedies, never asking for help, never showing weakness. One day, a stroke left her partially paralyzed. For months, she fought against accepting help, seeing her new limitations as failure. But slowly, as her family surrounded her with the same love she had always given them, she discovered something profound. Allowing others to care for her created a new intimacy, a deeper connection than she had ever known. I spent my life thinking I was showing love by never needing anything, she told me. But now I understand that sometimes the greatest gift you can give someone is the chance to love you when you're struggling. When you ask for help, you're not being a burden. You're being honest. You're being human. You're creating space for others to exercise their gifts and fulfill their purpose. You're participating in the sacred cycle of giving and receiving that the universe established as the foundation of all relationships. 7. You're not responsible for fixing everyone's pain. My friends, listen closely to this truth that the universe has been trying to show you. You can love someone deeply without solving all their problems. You can listen to someone's pain without taking responsibility for removing it. You can care profoundly without carrying their burdens as your own. Somewhere in your journey, empathy became entangled with rescue. Compassion became confused with fixing. The beautiful gift of your caring heart transformed into an exhausting obligation to make everything better for everyone you love. Pope Francis invites us to a more sustainable kind of love, one that embraces compassion without overwhelming ourselves. To love as Jesus loved is not to eliminate all suffering, even he did not do this, but to be present with others in their pain, to walk alongside them without taking their journey from them. Rejoice with those who rejoice, mourn with those who mourn. Romans 12:15. Notice that this scripture doesn't say, fix the problems of those who mourn. It calls us to the ministry of presence, not the impossible task of problem-solving everyone else's life. The universe didn't design you to be the solution to every problem, the healer of every hurt, the provider for every need in your circle. That role belongs to God alone. When you try to fill it, you not only exhaust yourself, you can inadvertently prevent others from developing their own strength, their own solutions, their own relationship with the divine. You don't need to carry the world in your arms. You only need to offer your presence, your compassion, your witness. This is enough. You are enough, exactly as you are, without solving another person's pain. 8. You deserve to be asked, how are you? My dear friends, when was the last time someone looked you in the eyes, really looked, and sincerely asked how you were doing? Not as casual greeting, but with genuine interest in your heart's condition. When was the last time someone created space for you to be honest about your struggles, your fears, your exhaustion? For too many of you, the answer is, I can't remember. You've become so good at caring for others that people assume you don't need care in return. You've become so reliable in crisis that others forget you might be facing crises of your own. The universe sees this painful imbalance. Pope Francis speaks about the importance of seeing those who serve, those who love, those who are always present for others. These faithful souls often become invisible, their needs overlooked precisely because they never demand attention. You matter. Your heart matters. Your struggles matter. Your exhaustion matters. Not because of what you do for others, but simply because you exist as a beloved creation of God. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Psalm 34:18. Even if human attention has overlooked you, divine attention never has. God sees your silent tears, your midnight anxieties, your moments of wondering how much longer you can keep going. The universe has witnessed every time you've put your own needs last, every time you've smiled through your pain, every time you've given when your own cup was empty. Today, I ask you directly, with all the love and concern your soul has been craving, how are you? Really, truly, how is your heart? What burdens have you been carrying alone? What pain have you been hiding? What rest have you been denying? Yourself. You also deserve comfort. You also matter. You also need to be seen, heard, and held in compassionate attention. This isn't selfish, it's human. And your humanity is exactly what makes you beautiful in God's eyes. I'm so happy to have you here with me. If this message is touching your heart and you're still here with me, type 2 in the comments. That way I'll know you're walking this path of faith, seeking growth, reflection, and wisdom, as Pope Francis taught us. 9. Your soul needs space to breathe. My friends, faith isn't just about doing, giving, and enduring. The universe designed your spiritual journey to include quiet moments of simply being with God, spaces where your soul can breathe freely, without the weight of others' expectations or needs pressing down upon you. In the constant noise of responsibilities, in the endless demands of those who rely on you, your connection to your own spirit and to the divine spirit can become muffled, distant, hard to access. This disconnection isn't just uncomfortable, it's spiritually dangerous. It's the beginning of a profound soul tiredness that no amount of physical rest can touch. Pope Francis values the intimate prayer that requires no words, only presence. Like sitting with a beloved friend in comfortable silence, your relationship with God doesn't always need language or action to deepen. Sometimes it needs only your willingness to be still, to create space, to breathe. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. The universe invites you to this sacred stillness, not as another spiritual task to perfect, but as a gift to receive. In these quiet moments, when you temporarily set down the burdens of being needed, of being responsible, of being strong for others, something miraculous happens. You remember who you are beneath all those roles. You reconnect with the essence of your being, not what you do, but who you are as a cherished creation of God. Your worth doesn't come from your usefulness to others. Your value isn't measured by your productivity or strength. In the sacred space of silence, the universe reminds you that you were loved into existence simply to be in relationship with the divine. Everything else flows from that primary connection. Today, I invite you to create even a small sanctuary of silence in your life. 5 minutes in the morning before the house wakes up. A moment in your car before entering your workplace. A brief pause before sleep claims you. In these tiny pockets of stillness, your soul will find room to breathe again. 10. Letting go is sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do. My dear friends, here we arrive at perhaps the most transformative truth the universe has been trying to reveal to you. Sometimes the holiest action you can take is to open your clenched hands and release what you've been desperately trying to control. Let go of the guilt that tells you you're never doing enough. Let go of the fear that everything will fall apart without your constant vigilance. Let go of the need to be perceived as unshakable, as the one who never needs help. Let go of the exhausting responsibility of managing everyone else's emotions and experiences. Pope Francis teaches us with profound wisdom that surrendering to God isn't giving up. It's the highest form of wisdom. It's acknowledging the truth that has always been. You were never meant to be the savior of your family, your workplace, your community. That role is already filled. Cast your burden on the Lord, and He will sustain you. Psalm 55:22. The universe doesn't ask you to abandon care or responsibility. It invites you to right-size these things, to recognize the difference between carrying what is yours to carry and trying to shoulder what belongs to God alone. You don't need to hold everything together all the time. God holds it with you, and sometimes, for you, when your strength fails. This isn't a backup plan for when you can't manage anymore. It's how life was always meant to work, a constant, beautiful collaboration between human effort and divine support. When you release your white-knuckled grip on outcomes, when you surrender the illusion of control, you don't become passive. You become properly aligned with the universe's deeper wisdom. You acknowledge that while you have responsibility, you don't have total control, and this acknowledgement isn't defeat. It's reality. It's truth. It's the beginning of authentic, spiritual peace. Have you ever felt crushed beneath the weight of being everyone's rock? Have you reached that breaking point where your strength finally gave way? Share your experience in the comments below. My friends, as we come to the close of this sacred time together, let me remind you of the profound truths we've explored. You were never designed by the universe to be unbreakable, to carry everyone's burdens while neglecting your own soul's cry for rest. Even Christ himself accepted help on his most difficult journey. Your strength is beautiful, but so is your vulnerability. Your service to others is a blessing, but not when it comes at the cost of your own spiritual and emotional health. The silence that hides your pain protects no one and slowly destroys the authentic connection your heart truly craves. Remember that you matter not because of what you do, but because of whose you are. A beloved child of God deserves care, deserves to be asked, "How are you?" deserves space for their soul to breathe. The universe sees you, not just your doing, but your being. By embracing these truths, by allowing yourself to be human rather than superhuman, you aren't just improving your earthly existence with more balance and well-being. You're strengthening your soul, cultivating true inner freedom, and deepening your connection to God. This brings a fulfillment that worldly accomplishment or others' approval can never provide. The universe is whispering to your weary heart, release what was never yours to carry. Accept help without shame. Rest without guilt. Speak your truth without fear. These aren't signs of weakness. They're expressions of authentic spiritual wisdom. My dear friends, I urge you to share this message with someone else who has been carrying too much for too long. Perhaps it's your mother who never complains, your friend who's always there for everyone, your spouse who shoulders burdens silently. Pass on this permission to be gloriously, imperfectly human, and watch how it liberates not just them, but you as well. May God bless you. Type Amen in the comments so I know you stayed with me until the end. Subscribe now and turn on the notification bell. That way you'll never miss a new heart-touching message. I'll see you in the next video.